Good morning or good evening, YouTube, depending on where you are in the world. So, if you haven't watched my last video, it's up there in the thing. Just click up there to watch my last video, wherever it is. I think it's on this side. I'm not sure. But, yeah, we're almost done with Twilight. So, this is going to be the Twilight Saga Breaking Dawn Part 1. Now, in my last video, I explained how I'm going to split the last two movies into two parts, since that's what they did in the books. So this is part 1, and tomorrow's going to be part 2. So, in part 1, we're back in the meadow, where Edward gives Bella her ring back, and yeah. So we start off with the wedding. Ooh. So the wedding invitations get spread off to Charlie, Renee, who's all the way in Florida, and Phil, and then we get to Jacob being pissed off. Jacob runs out of the house soon as he sees the wedding invitations to Bella and Edward's wedding. Then he goes on a freaking rampage. So he leaves the house, starts running, and his father is just his father's in a wheelchair, and he just stops and picks up the wedding invitation from the floor. It's raining, but who cares? So Jacob runs. Jacob basically leaves. And then we cut to Bella and Alice on the porch. And Alice is teaching Bella how to walk in heels for her wedding. And then the whole, clan, except for Edward, who's upstairs staring. Rosalie, Jasper, Emmett are, bringing in logs for the wedding. And Emmett's like, what do you want these? And Alice is like, on either side of the aisle. And then Rosalie's like, what aisle? And then Alice is like, does no one have vision? And she goes to tell them where to put them. And then Bella sees Edward. And yeah, Alice is like, go home and get some beauty sleep. Alice totally blocks her view from Edward. And then she goes home, and it's nighttime, and it's time for Edward's bachelor party. Which is kind of weird for vampires, because, how? But who cares? So, Edward proceeds to tell Bella about his story, and there's things that he didn't tell her about himself. He says, a few years after Carlisle created me, I rebelled against him, which means he went on his own and killed murders and killers and stuff. Yeah. So yeah. Edward and Jasper proceed to tell Edward to potentially go with him for his bachelor party. I don't think Bella had a bachelor party. I'm not sure. But yeah. And then we'll cut to the wedding, where she gets ready, and Rosalie and Alice are there, and then Rosalie's like, she can do her hair, and then Bella's like, really? And then Rosalie's like, please, I'm not offended by your choice of groom, even though she is, basically. just for her blatant lack of her humanity. So the whole wedding like jumps off and everything, and they finally get married. And then Jacob shows up. She dances with Jacob for a few songs, and then Jacob gets pissed off again because Bella revealed that she's going to have a honeymoon with Edward, and then Jacob actually knows that he's going to kill her, which he's not going to. So yeah, they have their wedding is over. They're going to their honeymoon. Well, actually, they meet the cousins of the Denali clan, which consists of Tanya, Kate, Irina, Eleazar, and who else? Oh, Carmen. We see Anna Kendrick for one more time before she leaves. I think she's working on another movie. I don't know. So Bella and Edward dance for a little bit. We see Alice and Jasper do like a dance, and then they leave for their honeymoon. And guess what, guys? Kyla has bought an island for Esme, and that we've never seen. Anyway, yeah, they spend the night on the island that Carlisle gave them for their honeymoon. And guess what? Bella falls pregnant, guys. So yeah, during the like first week, I don't know. But anyways, during the pregnancy, she feels something moving in her stomach, which should be impossible for vampires. It should be possible for vampires to procreate since they have no blood flow whatsoever. So how in the world? But anyways, Edward's in shock. And Bella answers his phone, and it's Alice. And Alice is like, she can't see her future anymore. And then Edward takes his phone back. Edward, like, it's moving and takes his phone back and proceeds to talk to Carlisle about it. And when he gets off the phone, he zooms while he runs at a fast pace to like pack her things and pack his things to go home. And the housekeeper is there to help to keep them alive, and she's not, to make sure she's alive, and she's not. And the only way to bring the baby out safely is by death. And yeah, so they go home, and they go back to the airport, and she calls Rosalie. So Rosalie is like her bodyguard now, which is super weird because in the first 3 movies, Rosalie couldn't stand Bella until she had the kid. So yeah, that's weird to me. They go home, and then she proceeds to tell her dad that they're extending the trip and everything, which is a lie. Sorry, I'm just naturally weird. Like I said, I just naturally make funny faces. Baby Yoda. Sorry. Whatever. So Jacob comes over, and then he sees Bella, and he proceeds to talk to Bella about it. And then Bella shows Jacob that she's pregnant. And Edward again is, and Jacob again is pissed off because of it, and goes after Edward, and then Emmett stops him, and and everything and stuff. Yeah. Carlisle reveals that the baby is growing too fast, and ultrasounds won't help. Ultrasounds won't help see the baby because the embryonic sac is like covered or something. I don't know. Jacob has an idea. Well, no, Bella falls like really pale, like almost vampire pale. But she almost looks like death, actually. And Jacob proceeds to have the idea of consuming blood and then human food and stuff. And then Edward, reading his mind, says that's a good idea, and tells Carlisle that Jacob just had an idea, and then Jacob replies, "It wasn't an idea, it was a snide comment." My favorite line of the movie. And then Emma's like, "I know the feeling." Well, Bella's like, "He's thirsty," because Bella thinks it's a boy. And then Emmett's like, "I know the feeling." And then Jasper and Alice proceed to go for a walk, and so does Emmett. And Carlisle and Edward decide to give it blood in a styrofoam cup. And Jacob says he's going to be sick because he has to drink that. But it's the fastest way to test his theory. Yeah. Let's see. The wolves find out through Jacob that Bella's pregnant. And they're super pissed off. And Sam is like, "You will bow down," because every wolf is bowed down to him, even though he's not the right alpha, which is strange. Whatever. Jacob finally comes into his own and claims his alpha tag. I'm like, finally, where was this in the last 3 movies and stuff? And he runs off by himself, and then Seth is missing his brother and goes off on his own as well. And then Leah shows up, and Leah can't stand the Cullens, which I don't really know why she's there. I think she's there for Seth, but I don't know, considering that she hates the Cullens. I don't know why Leah hates everybody. I know why Leah hates Sam, but I don't know why she hates everybody else. So they proceed to tell the Cullens what's going on with Sam and the pack and everything. And then, Paul comes out. Paul, Jared, and Embry come out and talk to Jacob, and then Jacob proceeds to tell him that he needs Sam to take back Lee and Seth is... Well, Leah kind of doesn't want that, but Seth is kind of agitated towards his sister and everything that's going on, even though he loves the Cullens, which is weird. Seth's just a lovable character, okay? And Seth is my favorite character as well. But Jasper, though. Anyway, sorry. Getting off track here. Esme proceeds to bring out food for Jacob, Seth, and Leah, and Leah does not take the food that Esme makes, makes and covers up, and she gives it to Seth, which Seth loves Esme, which again is weird. Jacob takes the food as well, and they run a perimeter check around the house, or around everything. And then Bella proceeds to have a conversation with Rosalie and Alice about baby names, and yeah. And then after that, Edward and Jacob come in the house, and then Jacob is like, what now? And then Edward's like, Rose is trying to talk Bella out her baby names, and then Bella's like, they're not that bad. And she revealed her son. She revealed what she wanted to call her son, which is EJ for Edward Jacob. And then Rosalie asks her, why don't you tell him the girl's name? And then Bella reveals that she was just playing around with their mom's name, Renee and Esme, and then squished them together. And what do you get? Renesmee. And then Jacob stutters out the name, and then he's like, Bella's like, too weird, and Jacob is like, well, Edward's like, no, that's not weird. It fits the situation. It's unique. It fits the situation that she's in right now, or that they're in. And then what happened? Oh, she reaches for her blood, and it like falls to the ground and breaks, and so does her back because the baby is kicking way too hard. The baby is stronger than she thought. And they go to the makeshift delivery room, which is Carla's office. And Alice and Rosalie and Edward proceed to help Bella give birth to the baby, and while Alice is on the phone with Carlisle, and they're like, the placenta must have detached from her or whatever, and Rosalie gets distracted by the scent of blood, and Jacob jumps over the table, to get Rosalie out of here, and then Alice helps get her out of there, and then Edward proceeds to bring the baby into the world. And then Jacob's like, you have to change her, and then Edward's like, I can't. Not Wallace. He's still in there, and then he has to get out first. And Jacob says, I won't kill you. That'd be too easy. You deserve to live with this. You deserve to live with what you did. Sam believes the baby's evil. Well, the baby's going to be evil. He believes the baby is full vampire, which is not the case. So Bella potentially dies after giving birth to Renesmee. And Jacob still tries to save her, but he can't. Rosalie takes the baby, cleans her off, and everything. And then Jacob leaves the house crying like a baby because he knows he knows what it's like to lose someone that he loves. I think in the book they reveal that he killed his mother by giving birth to her. I'm not sure. But yeah, I believe so. I don't know. I haven't read the book in a while. And then Jacob says that he's the only one that can kill a baby, and he goes to kill her, and he can't because he imprinted on her. And then when Edward finds out, he's pissed and tries to break Jacob's arm and throws him against the wall, which is not surprising at all. So he orders, Edward tells Rosalie to stay with Bella and the baby, and Rosalie does so as they go outside to fight the wolves. And in the midst of all fighting, Jacob comes out and he tells the other wolves that he can't hurt her. And then Edward knows what Jacob did. He reveals that Jacob imprinted. They won't hurt her. They can't. It's the wolves' most absolute law, which is kind of stupid. And then Emmett, Carlisle, and Esme come back, and they see that the family is slowly diminishing because there's 3 against like 8 or 7. I don't know how many wolves there are. Seth and Leah come out and they help the Cullens, and that's not enough. And then Jacob comes out and he phases on Fly. Well, he phases and turns into a wolf. And yeah, Sam backs off, and so do the whole wolf army gang. I don't know. And we wait for, and then after the fight, we wait for Bella to wake up. And he finally does. So, that was the end of my Breaking Down Part 1 rant videos. So, if you like this content, please give me a like, subscribe, and hit the post notification bell so you know every time I upload a new video. So, there we go. Bye-bye.